This is Change Radio News. Today is Monday, the 25th of October 2021. The news read by Sophia Tekwani. Stories making the headlines. Citizens protest in Sudan against a military coup. The MDC Alliance condemns ZANU-PF calls to extend Mnangagwa's presidency. And ZANU-PF thugs attack MDC Alliance members in Goromonzi. And now for the stories in detail. Civilians in Sudan have taken to the streets in protest against the military coup that is currently underway. This comes after the country's Prime Minister, Abdallah Hamdok, was arrested after refusing to make a speech supporting the coup. He is under arrest along with other key civilian government officials. The country has been on the edge since last month's failed coup by those sympathetic to former President Omar al-Bashir, who was ousted in 2019. Reports say the internet is being interrupted, the airport in Khartoum is shut, roads and bridges are also shut by the military in an attempt to quell the protest by the citizens. Our reporter following the events filed this latest update.
The Sudan military led by General Fattah al-Burhan has taken over the country despite ongoing protests by citizens against the military takeover. The thousands of citizens who are out in the streets have mounted barricades on roads to stop army tanks and vehicles from patrolling the streets. Meanwhile, the military has closed all routes coming in and out of the capital city of Khartoum to try and stop more protesters from coming into the city. Al-Burhan, who was part of the joint council with civilians in the government, said he was dissolving the government and declared a state of emergency in the country. Speaking in a televised address, Al-Burhan said infighting between politicians, ambition and incitement of violence had forced him to protect the safety of the nation. The US, the UK, EU and AU and the Arab League have all condemned the coup in deep concern over the deteriorating situation in Sudan that is likely to see civilians die. Shamiso Sibanda reporting for Change Radio News.
The MDC Alliance has strongly condemned ZANU-PF's proposal to amend the constitution so as to extend Emmerson Mnangagwa's term in office for more than 2 terms. The MDC Alliance Vice Chairman, Honorable Job Sikala, said Mnangagwa is too old to be even asking for a 5-year term in office. Meanwhile, the party's Vice President, Advocate Tendai Biti, said he will not allow it to happen, saying he will take legal action to stop such nonsense. Speaking to Change Radio, the MDC Alliance Deputy National Spokesperson, Felix Mafa-Sibanda, added,
Zimbabweans, we are experiencing a lot of unprecedented developments in Zimbabwe due of ZANU-PF dictatorship. It is ironic that the ZANU-PF youth, they are now proposing that President Mnangagwa should have unlimited terms of office as the president. The Constitution of Zimbabwe, by the people, for the people of Zimbabwe, which was adopted 2013, categorically states that the incumbent president will serve only 2 terms. if popular, 5 times 2, it means 10 years in all. Now we are surprised that ZANU-PF is now trying to abrogate the constitution because they believe they've got super majority in parliament, which came by dubious means. Therefore, we are warning Zimbabweans, and in particular civic society, that if this is not fought against as what we did during Mugabe when he wanted to declare one-party state, this is a testimony that Mnangagwa is presiding over a military junta which does.
Yesterday, over 35 ZANU-PF thugs armed with machetes, knives and stones attacked MDC Alliance members in Ward 25, Phase 10, Goromonzi South. 4 people were injured, including one who is critically ill and has since been admitted at Parirenyatwa Hospital. The injured are Thomas Mugwagwa, Anthony Chimangumangu, Feni Tsododo, and Shadrach Muzogwi. Let's get more details from our reporter.
It is very sad that in this day and age, ZANU-PF resort to odd and barbaric tactics of violence. It is also said that all this is happening at a time when ZANU-PF is busy preaching about sanctions that must be removed, yet the main cause of sanctions is things like this, where rights of human beings were disregarded by the regime of Robert Mugabe. And it is very unfortunate that the so-called new dispensation has continued in that trajectory. But we want to assure Zimbabweans that as the Youth Assembly, we will stand toe-to-toe, shoulder-to-shoulder with the downtrodden, especially during this season of elections.
The MDC Alliance MP for Chitungwiza South constituency, Maxwell Mavunga, was yesterday attacked by ZANU-PF rowdy supporters in Victoria Falls after he uttered the Ngapinde Hake Mukomana slogan. The supporters dragged him into a room where they took turns beating him. No arrests have so far been made. The MDC Alliance Youth Assembly Gender Desk for Harare Province yesterday held a successful workshop for young women to raise awareness on breast cancer. The program was held in Masasa in Harare. Speaking to our reporter on the sidelines of the event, Harare Province Youth Gender Secretary Takudzwa Zumbunu said the country's state health sector is not helping in cancer screening and its treatment. She said,
October is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Saka isusu sema-youth tangoona kuti no, this month haingaperi tisina chataitawo to inform the public, because that is the idea. I know besides cervical cancer, breast cancer, we also have the biggest cancer in Zimbabwe, which is ZANU-PF. So besides dealing with ZANU-PF and ED, we also need to deal with our health. Main challenge in Zimbabwe, our healthcare system is as good as dead. Zvipatara zviri kudhura zvine mushonga zvacho. When you go to Parirenyatwa, you're going to spend the whole day in resuscitation room. You will not get any help. Saka tatitiite program iyi kuti tidzidzise madzimai echidiki, vasikana vechidiki kuti breast cancer iyi chimbori chii, uyezve kuti semusikana kuti ukwanise kuzviita breast examination unofanira kungochiita zvipi, because early detection of cancer really saves life. So that was the whole idea of this program.
Meanwhile, the MDC Alliance Deputy Spokesperson, Gift Ostalo Siziba, who was a special guest at the program, said the ZANU-PF government is the biggest cancer in this country. Siziba said,
of Emerson Mnangagwa by Advocate Nelson Chamisa is a non-negotiable position. Because that is the only way we can deal with other primary health care problems. And where is the opportunity to deal with that? It is in the next election. 2023 presents an opportunity for us as Democrats continue to deal decisively with the question, the biggest cancer in this country, which is ZANU-PF. And if you ask me, could cancer vacuum, that time how this cancer is eating our body. Over 1980, this country has never had a period, at least a decade of uninterrupted peace. Mugabe chibva muhondo akatamato masakawana 1986 kuground started killing people in the Fast Track Land Reform Program in 1999-2000. Killed people in 2005. Violent election in 2002. Violence in 2008. Violence in 2016. Violence in 2017 where we had military coming in into civilian politics. Violence in 1 August 2018. How the cancer is eating our entire nation.
The MDC Alliance Secretary General, Honorable Shelton Wende, has said the people's struggle is not going to tolerate election manipulation and rigging by the ZANU-PF regime. Honorable Wende said his party had finished workshops with leadership from 10 provinces, adding the party is going to thwart ZANU-PF unconstitutional behavior of rigging. He also said they will soon embark on a voter registration blitz that will start on 6 December of this year. We at Change Radio Zimbabwe encourage citizens to become registered voters for the upcoming 2023 elections. To find out where your nearest voter registration center is, please call the free phone number 08080219. The number again, 08080219. Today we spoke to the MDC Alliance Chairman for Australia, Henry Jaji, to give us an update on how the fundraising is going for the purchase of a secure vehicle for the party's president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa. The urgent fundraising was launched after Advocate Chamisa's car was vandalized by ZANU-PF thugs who threw stones at it in Masvingo and had a bullet fired through it in Manicaland. The GoFundMe page is Let's Replace the People's President car, and it aims to raise $120,000. Mr. Jaji said,
Thank you very much, fellow Zimbabweans. Thank you very much, fellow citizens. Thank you all for answering to the call to support the initiative of buying a car for our President, Nelson Chamisa. Thank you so much. This is an initiative that we believe that all right-thinking Zimbabweans, all progressive Zimbabweans, regardless of our political affiliations, regardless of our background differences, regardless of where we are based or we are coming from, should see the need to support. As we speak, we are sitting at 31,320, and this is a very big achievement given that we are just in our 9th day of our fundraising. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank all those who are donating. I just want to thank all those who are supporting this initiative, those who are supporting the initiative through their donations, those who are supporting the initiative through sharing the link, and those who are supporting the initiative through encouraging others to also participate and share. I want to encourage and urge all of you to keep on spreading the message, to keep on making everyone aware that there is this initiative that is going on, because this is a noble initiative, ladies and gentlemen. When we are supporting President Nelson Chamisa, we are not just supporting him as an individual, but we are supporting him as an institution. We are supporting him as an idea. We are supporting him as a dream. That is a dream that all Zimbabweans have of having a better Zimbabwe, of having a better future. So President Nelson Chamisa represents that dream. He represents that vision. He represents that idea. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my call today that all progressive Zimbabweans, all right-thinking Zimbabweans, all Zimbabweans carrying a dream for a better Zimbabwe should support this initiative. Our target is to reach 120,000, and I know that if we work together as a team, if we work together as a unity, we can achieve that goal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep on supporting this initiative. Thank you.
The MDC Alliance Assembly of Women on Saturday celebrated the belated International Day of Rural Women in Chirumanzu's Midlands Province, which was led by Honorable Mucharairwa Mugido, where elderly women came out in their large numbers. Speaking to the party spokesperson for the Assembly of Women, Barbara Gwangwara Tanyanyiwa, on what happened on the day, our reporter filed this report.
The MDC Alliance Assembly of Women, led by Honorable Machirairwa Mugido, on Saturday held a belated International Day of the Rural Women in Chirumanzu. It was a good day that was remembered well. The attendance was very good and the women were in a jovial mood. They also distributed the groceries to the elderly. The International Day of the Rural Women is held yearly on the 15th of October. So this was a belated commemoration, and the people there in Chirumanzu, especially the women, were happy that the leadership had visited them. And the song that was there, the chorus that was there, was to say ngapinde hake mukomana kangene ujaha. They also encouraged each other to go and register to vote, to check their names if they are on the voters roll, and also to encourage their children that have just turned 18 years or that will turn 18 years in 2023 to go and register to vote. Thank you.
The MDC Alliance Deputy National Youth Organizing Secretary Netai Marova has been listed among the Gumiguru 50 under 30 Emerging Leaders Class of 2021. Gumiguru is a Harare-based training and consultancy company which believes in celebrating people who inspire and influence young people. Speaking to Change Radio on how she feels to be part of the influencers who are recognized, she said,
mudanga muno mandakamira ndo mudanga medumo maiva nemombe 30 asi dzakapera nechirwere chaingonzi chaingwa disease. We have seen the government failing to address issue yezvirwere zvemombe to the level yokuti the government has neglected the rural people. Zvazvakuitika ike zvino semuvillage muno mombe dzakasara dzavatova less than 30 munzvimbo yanga inombe dzaya kuma 100 and something. The government has not addressed the issue of the disease kusvika palevel yokuti matanga akaperehwa, and unohwa ma-MP nevamwe vanenge politics vachiti vamunangagwa vachakupai matarakita, but mvura yakunaya, there is nothing. People are now preparing for farming. Hakuna. We are trying our best to spray our cattle every day, but the government's ignorance towards this disease is shocking and worrying. That's why tichingoti idhi uyu ngaachienda uyu ngaabve. ZANU-PF must go, ngapinde hake mukomana.
In our Black History Month, we remember and honor MDC founding member and spokesman and member of Parliament, Honorable Learnmore Judah Jongwe, who joined the party to continue his activism against human rights abuses by ZANU-PF and the demands for democracy in Zimbabwe. Jongwe died in police custody from food poisoning on the 24th of October 2002 at the age of 28. We honor and remember the hero who stood for democracy in Zimbabwe. Last Thursday, anti-riot police descended on pupils at Mashoko Mission High School in Bikita District, Masvingo Province, after the learners protested over poor service delivery at the learning institution, which include unavailability of electricity, water, and proper food. However, the protests turned violent after the learners vandalized the headmaster's car and school property, pressuring the school to call the police. War veterans in Zimbabwe are set to protest this week over the poor pension they are receiving and the state of the economy. The disgruntled veterans say their monthly RTGS 16,000 is not enough to last a week and that the government must fulfill its promise to increase their monthly allowances. The Health Ministry has raised concern over massive corruption among procuring entities, where 142 out of 203 are failing to comply with the emergency procuring reporting guidelines for COVID-19. This was revealed by a government official, Willard Manungo, who said 37% of procuring entities have not been registered with the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, PRAZ, and a significant number of procurements, 73%, have inadequate documents. The Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Mudenda, has urged the Ministry of Finance to comply with normal budget approval processes by Parliament and to immediately regularize the unacceptable fiscal anomaly where expenditure is now amounting to $6.8 billion. Previously, Auditor General Mildred Chiri said the excess expenditure was done in violation of the Constitution. Communities in Gutu have cried foul over Mnangagwa's government failure to supply livestock dipping chemicals, which has resulted in thousands of cattle succumbing to the preventable tick-borne illness called January disease. Let's hear what one of the affected cattle owners said. In international news, Eswatini's People Democratic United Movement, Pudemo, has said it will intensify its pro-democracy protests in Eswatini as long as its political prisoners are still incarcerated. Pudemo is accusing King Mswati III of ignoring calls for reforms meant to move Eswatini towards democracy. The campaigners further said if a dialogue is to take place, the government should unban political parties and allow for freedom of speech. In the COVID-19 news and updates. Last night, the Health Ministry said Zimbabwe had recorded 26 new cases of COVID-19. Sadly, there was one death from the virus. We at Change Radio continue to urge citizens to wear masks, to sanitize, to practice social distancing, and to get vaccinated. And finally, sports. Here are the results from the English Premier League matches played over the weekend. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1. Chelsea 7, Norwich 0. Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1. Everton 2, Watford 5. Leeds 1, Wolves 1. Southampton 2, Burnley 2. Brighton 1, Manchester City 4. Brentford 1, Leicester 2, West Ham 1, Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 5. And finally, sports. Here are the results from the English Premier League matches played over the weekend. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 7, Norwich 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1, Everton 2, Watford 5, Leeds 1, Wolves 1, Southampton 2, Burnley 2, Brighton 1, Manchester City 4, Brentford 1, Leicester 2, West Ham 1, Tottenham 0, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 5. And to end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Citizens protest in Sudan against a military coup. The MDC alliance condemns ZANU-PF calls to extend Mnangagwa's presidency. And ZANU-PF thugs attack MDC alliance members in Goromonzi.